In a dissent, Justice Michael Donnelly called this logic utter jabberwocky. Well spoken. This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello and welcome to the 185th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled The Myth of Sisyphus. Yes, sir, it's going to be a heavy, intense discussion of Sisyphus and the rock. And for those of you who don't know the myth of Sisyphus, I had to look it up again. I knew the story, but I forgot that it was a part of Albert Camus' essay. Wrote an essay about it. He's Sisyphus, a character in Greek mythology, pushes a rock up the hill, and just before he gets to the top, he rolls back down the hill, and then he has to go down forever. He's rolling the rock back up, and then it comes back down. And much like our democratic system, as we try to help everyone across this great land of ours to get it to the top, it rolls right back, okay? And we do this over and over and over again, and now we've been doing it more than ever. But that's not the reason I called it that, and I don't. We'll talk a little about that insanity later. Now, the reason I mentioned it is I finally realized that it's the great metaphor for my golf game. I get better and better and better, and then I think, wow, I'm on the verge of being able to really enjoy this and play as well as I ever imagined. And then it's back down the hill to be a piece of shit golfer. Just awful. Just like I never had learned anything. It just that none of all of the years and years that I have put into this game that apparently hates me, that none of it is really stuck. It comes around and then goodbye, Lou. It was fun being a part of you, but we're rolling back down the hill. Come find us. And I bring this up because I spent the last 3 days in Portland, Maine, taking lessons with my good friend Peter Costas, and I'm not name dropping here. He's a friend of mine who is teaching me. Has been my teacher, my golf teacher, and he's a brilliant golf teacher. And I am obviously not the greatest student, but while I'm there and for a number of weeks afterwards, something longer each time, I will say, what he has taught me is stuck with me. And I've had signs of really, well, I would call it even greatness for a schmuck like myself. And you get those moments, and that's what keeps bringing you back. But it was wonderful to get that couple of days in, and he's just a great teacher. And I have to say that that's as important to me as the lesson itself. When you find a great teacher, it's really it's a pleasure to be around someone who really understands it. My mother had that instinct and ability. More than an instinct. She was a remarkable teacher. And I've had some really great teachers in my life, and Peter is one of them. And so it was a lot of fun, really, getting the sense of, yes, I've got it. No. Yes, I've got it. Yes, I got it. I was doing this, and I should have been doing that. But he adds a bit each time. I go away, I kind of get some sense of what he taught me, and I come back, and then he just gives me a touch more to deal with, and it's been really good, and it's just been really a pleasure the past number of years that I've been able to spend learning from him. Hello there, and it's time for a very special, super special, yes sirree, extra special, can't even come up with a special to the fifth power. I am leaving my cable access studio. That's right, it's cramped, it is claustrophobic. Time to hit the road again. I gotta get out of here. Go to lewisblack.com to catch up with all the places I'll be coming to. There are more dates that will be added as I wind up and retire from the touring as I've been doing it for years. And I will be appearing on the 9th and the 10th in Cleveland of August, that is, at the Hilarities Comedy Club, 16th and the 17th, on my way to Las Vegas, Nevada, all 5,000 degrees, at the Venetian Resort there at the Summit Showroom. Join me if you can, and I look forward to seeing you. And I'm going to be crazy because I've been in this room too long. I would go into the whole story, but suffice it to say that I just did, quite simply, I did Maury Povich's birthday party, and that's right. And part of the thing is that I didn't want money for it. Connie Chung, Maury's Maury's best half, Maury, really, she's the one. Of that couple. I love them both dearly, but let's face it, Connie, oh wow, extraordinary. So she had said she wanted to pay me. I said, no, I don't want to pay. I don't want to be paid for this. I like more. This is really a pleasure, and but to be able to entertain him and that he would want me to come in and do this on his birthday. And so she gave me lessons for life with Peter. And Peter each time keeps saying, who knew that life would be so long? So it was really terrific. And just as good has been the fact that I've been able to spend more and more time in Portland, Maine. And it should be called the Republic of Maine. And I call it the Republic of Maine because it is an entity unto itself. You get up there, and they're all everywhere you look. In Portland, especially where I spend most of the time, it is they've got Maine blueberries. Those become vital, important. We're not eating blueberries from anywhere else. They have basically created on their own all sorts of crafts, all sorts of ways in which they've got. It's one of the best food cultures in the country, and it grows each and every time I'm there. And I return to many of the same restaurants. I go to Via Vecchia. I will say it is one of my favorite Italian restaurants anywhere. I got back there this time, and it was spectacular. It always is. Really a great pasta, great main courses, great, fucking great. And terrific wine, which makes me even think it's greater than it could possibly be. Then to a place called Blythe and Borough, which is a sister restaurant, really just up the street from them, and some of the best oysters I've ever had. I am not blowing smoke here, folks. I'm just telling you, if you're going to Portland, Maine, here I'm giving you guidance, and well worth your time. And they have there some of the most remarkable cocktails. I don't drink a lot of cocktails anymore. Why? Because it sends me off the deep end. I'm not really capable of really being as good with hard alcohol as I used to be. But if there is a cocktail that has a wild number of ingredients and they all seem to lead to something that will make me happy, I will get it. And every time I go in there, there's something on their cocktail menu that calls out, I can go, Louis, come drink me. And I do. And this was a mezcal cocktail. And I will not even, to give you an idea, there's even the essence of bell pepper in this fucking thing. And it was spectacular. I mean, it all created its own drink. I mean, it became something other than just mezcal dominant, which I love mezcal, but this was more than mezcal. There was a quality to that drink that was like mezcal was just a part of all of the flavors that kind of peaked as something else. I know I sound like I've been saying, and a lobster roll and some of the best. Who else? And only might you find this in Portland or somewhere off the beaten track in a diner somewhere in the heart of the country, a French onion dip that they make that is super spectacular. I also ate at Pappy, Their Puerto Rican restaurant that the chef there recreates his mother's recipes. Really quite wonderful. One of the best mojitos I've ever had. And if that weren't enough, when I finished up, they have opened a slice shop, which I wish they had in fucking New York. And I mean this, with about 10 different types of pies, all of which you could hear them going, Lois, Lois, eat me, eat me. And had a very kind of a spicy salami slice that was just extraordinary. As dessert, if you will, if you have it. And it's called off track pizza. I didn't go into why. I didn't care. I just wanted it, and they have bottles of mixed drinks, little for $9. I mean, and it was a Paloma, which was grapefruit and tequila. Their version, I guess they call it a Palomino because of the horse imagery, and cardamom. And whew, it drank like it came out of there, and it drank like the best soda pop I've ever had. So it really made for just a great weekend and a way to get away before I hit the road again. And I was really glad to get up there. And then there, for those of you who are into shopping and really want to get something unique and unusual, the Maine Souvenir Shop, which is run by Kevin, and I've been going there for a number of years now. I go there every time. There's always something there that catches my eye. He's got a variety of hot sauces that are made up there. He's got a variety of hats that this artist has, like with a raccoon drinking a beer on it, and paintings by that artist, and some extraordinary knitting that has been done by another artist. And it takes crafts and art to really fun, beautiful. This is unique. Oh, and the kind of piece that you take home and go, wow, I was in Maine. So I've done my advertising, and I hope that the Portland and those folks realize how much this is going to really change their business. It won't at all. They do really well. All the places I mentioned, and I would just say get on up there. I was in Bar Harbor when I was a kid. I remember going there, and I've been in and around Maine, but Portland has my heart, and I love performing there. And it was just great. It's always great to be back there and wander around. And if it wasn't so psychotically shitty in the winter, I would probably live there. At the other end of the spectrum, I'm still working on this, but there's nothing to work on. Okay, Robert Kennedy, you know the story already. There's a bear that's roadkill, bear cub. He sees it. He wants to take it home because in New York, you can eat roadkill. So he grabs the bear and puts it in his car, and then has to go to eat at Peter Luger's, a really great hoo-ha, really great restaurant, steak place in Brooklyn. And he doesn't have time, and then realizes he can't get it back, and so it's not going to work. It's going to eat the bear. I've eaten bear, okay? The fact that he stopped to get this bear off the side of the road so that he could eat it. I've eaten bear once, and as I said in my act, when you finally go to the bathroom afterwards, you know you ate bear because it really doesn't want to leave your stomach. You can feel the claws trying to hold itself inside your intestines going, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out. And the whole story, read the story. I'm not going to go through it. There's no reason. Okay? None. It is we have reached epic insanity in this country. There's no need for comedians. I mean, people can yell about this all they want, but this is ludicrous. And he's running to be the president of the United States. I do not believe anymore that he is Robert Kennedy's son. Can't possibly be. All right? Or there's a genetic flaw somewhere that is just, well, tragic. And I forgot to to share this. It was the fact that the Robert Kennedy bear incident, which occurred 10 years ago, not when he was young, 10 years ago, this occurred. And it was revealed as he was talking to Roseanne Barr. And then there was the interview with Robert Trump. There was the interview with Donald Trump, where he's there with the black broadcasters and reporters, and over the she was Indian, but then she just became black. She just turned black. She chose. I mean, what is the matter with him? Seriously, how do we watch as he crosses these lines, and the people around him are trying to stop him? They can't stop him. If everything I've read correctly, zip it. Okay, he's not going to debate her now. Okay, whatever the hell. And I'm going to get this out before she picks her vice presidential candidate, and then we'll have to hear about that all week. And what will it do? And is it going to make a difference? And let's look at the polls. And but the vice president never makes a difference. But somehow, in this case, it could be the difference in everything, because he's picked somebody who's just so off the charts that whoever she picks, they're all so much better than him. The vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, said, "Well, we can't even begin to discuss this in any other fashion." So that's what I've got in terms of the madness that is out there. They literally, there is no need for somebody to write anything about this stuff. Just go there, read the news. Okay? You already have the jokes yourself. All right? And if you've got something you think's really funny, get it out there. And who knows, you could be on TV too. I'm in an ad that's coming up for Burger King and The Daily Show. You'll be catching that around somewhere. It'll be on streaming systems, and I think it's supposed to be on Paramount Plus. It's really silly. It's worth it just to see me in the costume. So we've got here the Ohio Supreme Court. I had a rant that was written about this. I didn't know exactly where it came from, but now I found out that. So it's nice that we've got this. The Ohio Supreme Court has ruled that boneless chicken wings can contain bones. That's it. That's the punch. It's done. That's the punchline. You don't. We have lost all sense of reality. Like, really, how do you say? How, with the straight face, does a judge say, well, boneless wings can contain bones? The word is boneless. What was his name? The Viking, the Viking, the one, the really mean one. He was boneless. Unbelievable. Much as chicken fingers aren't made from chicken fingers, Justice Joseph Dieters wrote the term boneless wings merely denotes a style of preparation. Justice Joseph Dieters wrote the term boneless wings merely denotes a style of preparation. Wow. I mean, really? No, it doesn't. It means they're boneless. In a dissent, Justice Michael Donnelly called this logic utter jabberwocky, well-spoken, and said that when patrons read the word boneless, they think that it means without bones. Yes, that's what they think. What else would you think? Okay? And you say this, even a 5-year-old would fucking tell you this. Okay? If we're going to be talking about boneless wings, get 3 5-year-olds to do a ruling, since obviously the adult can't. And that's what we've got. And that brings us to a close of episode 185, The Myth of Sisyphus. I would like to say that I want to thank everyone for their help with Greg and all that you continue to do. I really appreciate it. And I will be looking forward to hearing more from him and that we can pass on to you. I don't really want to interrupt his privacy. I just want to give him the opportunity to have a life that he deserves to have as best he can under the circumstances. So hopefully this has made a difference, and you certainly have all made, as far as I can tell, a big difference by the outpouring of your care, and I appreciate that. And I hope you appreciate, as I do, all of the rants that you'll be hearing today. And get more in. Just keep sending them in, because we, as time goes on, I would like to make this more about your rants than my fucking nonsense. You got something to say it. Okay? And once again, thank you. I hope you have a great week. And for those of you who had to deal with this Hurricane Debbie does Dallas, not in Dallas though, flew through Florida, and then I gathered from what I've heard today, it's going to be pounding South Carolina and Georgia. So wishing you all nothing but the best. Hunker down and fucking deal with what is. It should be. It's like it should be a better summer. Okay, maybe we'll get a nice September through October. We deserve a break, and I hope we get it soon. It's a privilege and a pleasure to spend time with you, and thank you. Thank you for that. From Jim Nahil, an interesting take, I think, on what I'm drinking on stage, or as he says, this is about the water you swig on stage. Early on, I noticed you drinking Fiji water from the South Pacific. Then the deer pissing in the stream, I think that's correct. Deer Park, I believe. Now you're drinking from a can of fucking Austrian mountain goat pissing, running down a hill to Austrians ready to catch and bottle it? Huh? That's liquid death water. My high-def TV zoomed in on what you're drinking. It made me go buy a case. My fucking tap water is 1,000% better than this mountain goat piss. Stay USA. Poland Spring has less plastic than all of them. Saw you 3 times. Please stop drinking foreign fucking piss, okay? Concerned about you drinking piss water. Love you always, Jim. Jim, I started drinking this water on stage because it comes in a metal can, all right? Yes, I drank Fiji water. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of drinking out of plastic. I was doing it. I was involved in the conspiracy to destroy the earth. What can I say? All right. Eventually, we found this, and it's not a foreign water. We do it. Americans are doing it. It's an American product, but is basically bottled there. I think, or as a matter of fact, it says it's bottled here. I don't know. Okay, look it up. I don't really care. All right. I just wanted a metal can, something that could be recycled. No, I don't think it tastes like piss. I am thrilled your water tastes better. I don't know where you live. There's other water that I like more, but it comes in plastic. And actually, Poland Spring has got its own problems too, because it's owned by the Nestle company. I'm not going to go into this. It's water. I need to sip something on stage. I'm sorry it upset you, and thanks for looking out for me. Okay, and I appreciate it. I do. Wow, and you zoomed in. Okie doke. Thanks, Jim. From our pal Mildred Ellison, who always has something truly funny to say. The Ohio Supreme Court, 4 men and 3 women, adults, grown-ups who went to college, justices on the highest court in Ohio, those folks just came out and said a package of boneless chicken can, wait for it, have fucking bones. Holy Rod fucking Serling, we've stepped through the mirror into the twilight zone. I mean, fuck. Nothing is real or true anymore. Not a fucking thing. Water's not wet. The sky's not blue. Birds are fish. Fish are cows. and words have no fucking meaning. I mean, fuck. Did someone drop acid in the water supply when we weren't looking? How the fuck can anyone, much less the state Supreme Court, say with a fucking straight face, boneless chicken can have bones? That's it. We're now totally and completely in fucking dystopia. Enjoy the ride, fuckers. Mildred, always a pleasure to hear from you. I enjoy reading all the stuff you send in, and I'm sorry we can't read more of it. Thank you again, and I hope all's well. This comes to us from Josh Black, no relation, even though Black is an unusual last name. I rarely run across it, but he had something to say, and I'm gonna read it. I'm so goddamn sick and tired of right wingers saying we need to turn down the temperature. Oh, I'm sorry. Should we have been more kind to you guys as you openly call for violence against us just for being lefties or liberals or gay or trans or whatever else? Yeah, the Heritage Foundation's Führers stood up and said, this is a revolution and it will remain bloodless as long as the left allows it to be. So our choices are lick the boot or eat a bullet? Huh? Maybe someone else needs to turn down the fucking temperature. Calling LGBT people groomers and pedos and inciting all types of violence in the name of Christian nationalism. Fuck all these people. Just because you guys are better at putting a veil on your demented threats, we all know what it is. So if you want the temperature turned down, stop fucking cranking the dial up to 10 and complaining when it gets too hot for you. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. It's appalling. And calling, wow, LGBTQ people or pedos, and that word, pedophiles, use the word. Not you, but others when they say that. It even makes it sound worse. Just and it's harder maybe because if they say pedophile, they wouldn't know what it is. I'll shut up, Josh. I'll let what you say stand on it, so it should. I've been asked not to mention this gentleman's name. I thank you for this, though. It's a splendid rant. I'm here to rant to all those corporate a-holes that keep jumping from job to job, pushing to climb the corporate ladder, each time trying to prove you're worth it on someone else's back. In the past 20 years, I've had to train 5 different bosses, all of which came in wanting to change things to something they did elsewhere, all relying on me to make these changes, some of which we've tried multiple times. They don't listen until proved wrong. My current employer has corporate insanity caused by high turnover that's caused by their cheapness. So we continue to change things back and forth, spending valuable time and money doing the same things over and over. I'm now close to retirement and really want to tell them all to fuck off and do it yourself. The latest has a total paranoia of safety and feels we need to implement every safety device known to man. Heaven forbid we hold people accountable for being safe and making decisions to be safe. So now I'm forced to wear safety shoes, glasses, high-vis vest in 100-degree heat. I'm sweating so bad I can't see. Along for the old days when the dumbasses weeded themselves from the gene pool. Then there are the engineers that have never engineered anything in their life that speak in concepts and make maintenance engineered for them. I'm so sick of this shit. I could scream. Nowadays, we save everyone, even those who don't want saving. That may be our doom. Please, I prefer you don't use my name. I'm still working there, at least for another 6 months, and hopefully things will improve. But from what you have just written, I doubt it. Thank you so much for that. and taking the time out of probably a busy day of madness to send it along to us. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who can relate to this. Wow. Can speak in concepts and make maintenance engineered for them. Well said. Julia Quinn, I'd like to thank you for this. Like many of the rants I've been getting, I know it's tough for you to write, but hopefully writing it has helped in some fashion or another, and hopefully my reading, it helps. So thank you. Hi, Lewis. I'm very concerned, along with a great many people, with the forthcoming election. I'm a middle-aged, queer trans woman. I come from a fucked up background that has ultimately caused me to seek asylum through a crooked housing charity. I'm disabled and I'm fucked. As soon as I heard the immunity ruling, I had a sobbing, nervous breakdown, not for myself, but rather all the queer people that this is going to harm, but especially the children who are most at risk of being bullied, harmed, or worse. I wholeheartedly believe that every person, everyone fucking deserves to live authentically. True, true, true. And without fear of being targeted or discriminated against. I've already seen a great number of my community making plans to flee the country as soon as the shit hits the fan. One of my partners already has had a plan in place. This is what you fuckers in red hats have done. For years, I've been scared shitless about the possibility of being beaten to death on a live stream or murdered and stuffed in under a blanket. This is not an exaggeration or a joke. The shit has actually happened, especially in red states. When you look in the news and see that a fucking trans minor was murdered and subsequently dismembered for living the way she chose, it's time to stop acting like these fucking hate crimes don't exist. It's time to fucking end this madness because they get uncomfortable, huh? Because they can't handle queer people? What the fuck shit is that? I have to constantly see a stream of these stories year after year. We even have a day for it. November 20th, the Transgender Day of Remembrance, recognizing a list of trans people who have died as a result of bullying, self-harm, violence, or instability with housing and or work. We have a fucking day for that, to recount the losses. Are you fucking kidding me? But you fuckers go ahead and make the one joke you have in the chamber when it comes to trans people. At this point, I'm pretty numb to it when some fucking dork comes up to me with some boring bullshit about me never being a woman. I can fucking take that because their worthless opinion isn't fit to wipe my ass with. But those kids aren't going to hold up nearly as well as I, who've been going through this my whole life. I'm pissed off to the point of tears, and God damn it, someone should hear it. Oh, well, thank you, Julia. And I'm really sorry you have to go through this. It's unbelievable to me. It's got nothing to do with people, how it even affects them. How much time have you got on your hands for this to be something that tortures you? You know, these people, how much time must they have on their hands for this to torture them? Huh? It shouldn't at all right? Good God, they wrote a Bible to tell them this. Jesus came here and said, cool it, you fucking idiots. And years and years and years later, nothing. They read it and it might as well bounce off the fucking, their heads are made of concrete. Kitty Hawkins. It really kind of sucks to be in a place where you wonder whether some kid on a roof and the killing of a fire chief was all part of some sort of campaign conspiracy to get a sympathy vote. Not even the act itself is as horrific as having to wonder if this is what we have come to. I would literally vote for anyone whose campaign speech started and ended with, just shut the fuck up. I have enough stress in my life without my elected officials adding to it. Really. Just shut the fuck up. Well, thank you, Kitty. I hope you didn't mean me. I got to keep doing this. I shut up and I don't know, it's bad. It's hard enough for me to stop touring, let alone I can't really reach the point where I'm shutting the fuck up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the Ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.